If you only look at your payroll in dollars, you are missing the real story, because payroll isn't just a number, it is a percentage. And that percentage is telling you whether your schedule is efficient, whether your team size is aligned, whether your profit margin is protected, whether your EBITDA margin is strong. Today, I'm going to show you what your payroll percentage is really telling you and why most dental practice owners misunderstand it. Here's the problem. Most dental practice owners look at payroll like this. Payroll was $85,000 this month, but that number by itself means nothing. Payroll only makes sense in relation to income. For healthy single practice locations, employee expenses average 31% of income or lower. If you are significantly above that, your profit margin will decrease. If you are significantly below that, you may be understaffed or limiting growth. Payroll percentage is not just about cost control. It is about alignment. If we haven't met, my name is DJ Bhola, and we specialize in bookkeeping and financial reporting for dental practices. We help practices get clean, updated monthly financials so ownership can make better business decisions. On this channel, we focus on clear numbers, better decisions, and higher profits for your dental practice. Let's anchor this with clear benchmarks. For a typical single dental practice, as a percentage of income, employee expenses are 31%, associate specialist expenses may be around 3.83%, dental supplies about 5.58%, lab at 5.86%, and so on and so forth. Average single practice often operates near a 35% EBITDA margin. Group practices often operate closer to a 17% EBITDA margin. If employee expenses increase from 31% to 35%, that 4% difference has a direct impact on EBITDA margin. Payroll percentage is one of the biggest drivers of profitability in a dental practice. Here is what your payroll percentage is actually telling you. Number one, above 31%, efficiency problems. If your employee expenses are running at 34% or 35% or higher, it usually means one of the three things. Production per employee is too low. Overtime is increasing. Staffing levels are ahead of revenue. Your insurance reimbursements are low. For example, on a $1.5 million collection, 31% payroll equals $465,000. On a 35% payroll, it means $525,000. That's a $60,000 difference on an annual basis. If revenue didn't increase proportionally, your profit margin decreases directly. When payroll percentage increases, EBITDA margin decreases. Number two, far below 31%. Capacity problem. If employee expenses are 20% or 22%, that may look great, but it can indicate hygiene schedules are not fully utilized. Assistants are stretched too thin. The practice is at capacity and limiting growth. In that case, you might actually increase payroll slightly to increase production and total profits. The goal is not the lowest payroll percentage. The goal is optimized payroll percentage. Number three, sudden increase. Something changed. If payroll jumps from 30% to 33%, 33% to 36%, that trend is telling you production per provider may have decreased. Overtime may have increased. Compensation structure may have changed. A new hire was added before revenue increased. When you review monthly percentages, you catch this early. If you review quarterly, you are reacting after 3 months of impact. Number four, group practices. Payroll sensitivity is higher. Group practices often operate around a 17% EBITDA margin. That means there is less margin room for error. If payroll increases by 3 to 4%, it can significantly reduce EBITDA. For example, at 17% EBITDA margin on $5 million, EBITDA is $850,000. If payroll increases by just 3%, that's $150,000. EBITDA drops to $700,000. That is a meaningful change. Payroll percentage matters even more at scale. Here's an example. Let's compare two practices. Practice A, revenue at $1.4 million, employee expenses at 36%. 36% of $1.4 million is equals $500,000. If they should be near 31%, the difference is 5% of $1.4 million, which is $70,000. That $70,000 directly reduces their EBITDA margin. Practice B, revenue $1.4 million, employee expenses at 31%, payroll equals $434,000. Everything else being equal, practice B has $70,000 more available for profit. Same revenue, different payroll percentage, and different outcome. Here's what to do if payroll is high. If your payroll percentage is about 31%, ask, is production per clinical employee aligned? Are hygiene schedules full? Is overtime increasing? Did we add staff before increasing capacity? Are roles clearly defined? Are my insurance reimbursements optimal? You don't need to immediately cut staff. You first look at production alignment. Sometimes increasing production fixes payroll percentage without reducing team size. Here is what I would take away. Your payroll percentage is one of the clearest indicators of operational alignment. Around 31% for single practices is common. If it increases significantly, your profit margin and EBITDA margin will decrease. If it decreases too much, you may be limiting growth. Payroll percentage tells you whether production supports staffing, whether efficiency is strong, whether your margins are protected. And because payroll is your largest expense category, even small percentage changes have large financial impact. If you're only looking at payroll in dollar amounts, shift your focus to payroll as a percentage of income, because that percentage is telling you exactly how aligned or misaligned your practice is. Clear numbers, better decisions, and higher profits for your dental practice. And I will see you in the next one.